everyone, Retro Gamer Girl here. So today I've picked 5 timeless classics for the Super Nintendo. Now for me, timeless games should be great graphics that have stood the test of time, that have so much replay value and are still as fun now as they were as when you were a kid. So let's take a look at 5 Super Nintendo games. Now this game is really popular in Australia and it's Nintendo's release from 1992, Super Mario Kart. This game was so popular that at the time there was a game show, talk show for kids in the afternoons, Monday to Friday, and they actually featured this game as a competition part at the end of the show where you could then, if whoever won, went into the maze and so on. So if I can find a video, I'll pop a link in the description. It won't be from my channel, but just to give you guys an idea on what that show was about. But it was a load of fun, that show, and I used to watch it and think, oh my god, you know, there's so much competition with Super Mario Kart. But you can select between 8 of the Mario characters and it's so much fun playing this with friends and family. And the reason why I think it's a timeless classic is because still today I prefer this game than all the other Mario Karts that have been released. One of the best game series from the 16-bit era is none other than Capcom's 1993 release Mega Man X, or also known as Rockman X. Definitely one of my favorite game series and so much fun. It's a huge jump up from the original Mega Man series on the Famicom, which I do have and do play and I really like them, but I prefer the X series, X, X2, X3. I love the wall slide, it was one of the features of it, so yeah, just love it. I always love these games. So they're notoriously harder, the boss battles are hard, but as you beat the bosses, you grow your character, so X becomes obviously quite strong. And it's just a great all-round game. Loads of replay value, and it's been so popular that they've re-released the game. This series was re-released in 2018. I actually have the Nintendo Switch version and am currently playing through that. So if you can't pick up the original on the SNES, definitely check out the Nintendo Switch version available now. Released in 1991 by Nintendo, this game is arguably one of the best games ever made, and some people will also say that it's the best in its series overall. And it's none other than The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's a great game, what can I say? It's one of my absolute favourites. It's a 3/4 down view of playing as Link as you try and save Hyrule. It's like most of the other Legend of Zelda games where you're defeating Ganon and you're fighting off enemies, but it's got such a great storyline and it's one of the favourites. Now people will argue that this one is much better than Ocarina of Time or the NES version, The Legend of Zelda, but A Link to the Past is definitely fantastic. Now if you can't get your hands on the original SNES version, it is on the Super Nintendo Mini, so do grab yourself one of those because it's still a great version to play. One game that's at the top of my list time and time again if people ask me what a timeless game is none other than Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island by Nintendo in 1995. I absolutely love this game and I do prefer it more than Super Mario World. This game shows Yoshi the protagonist, and it's actually the first time that Yoshi was the main character in a Nintendo game, which is really cool, and it's my favourite, so I think it's really cool. You travel around each level, there's 48 levels, and whilst you're doing that, you have Baby Mario on your back. You don't want to knock him off because he'll cry quite a lot, and the aim of the game is obviously to reunite Baby Mario and Luigi. This game is definitely one of my favourites. I love the level design, the music, having Yoshi and all of his sound effects that he does. It's just so much fun to play, bright, colourful, and it's just an all-round 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 game for me personally. And I think it's like set the tone for a lot of Yoshi games going forward that we see released to this day. So if you haven't picked up Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, it's also on the Super Nintendo Mini, so you'll be able to get your hands on that, and it is a great game to still play on the Mini or a cart, so you're gonna love it. The last game I'm going to show you guys in this list is going to be 1994's release by Rare, Donkey Kong Country. This game is one of the best side-scrolling action games of all time. It has 3 in the series. Some people will argue that game 2 or 3 is better. A lot of people like 2 more. But I go back to the first one time and time again. I absolutely love it. You follow Donkey and Diddy Kong, which you can play either one of those characters, and sometimes the character plays better on different stages, but that comes down to personal preference, in search for saving your bananas which have been stolen. The storyline is so much fun, and what makes this timeless for me, and probably many others, is not just the graphic and the design of the game, but the characters, the banter, their funniness. Also, the soundtrack is amazing and so peaceful in some of the levels. I feel like Rare did so well with the ecosystems in this game, specifically for a game that was released in 1994. Like, wow. It's amazing, this game, and they put together such a fantastic quality Super Nintendo game, and they did it also with the second and third games that came out after this. Now, if you haven't played Donkey Kong Country and you don't have a cart, because they can be a little bit pricey, particularly in the PAL regions, just get yourself a Nintendo Mini. It's on there. I've played through that version as well, and it's just as much fun as playing it on an original cart. So definitely check out Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. Thank you everyone for tuning in to my timeless classic Super Nintendo video. There are so many great Super Nintendo games, and I'll be revisiting this with 5 more at a later date very soon for you guys. Let me know in the comments section if you've played any of the games that I've shown, if you love those games, if you agree that they're timeless classics, or any of the other ones that you think I should check out for my next video that I'll be making. But until then, I'll talk to you next time.